You tapping in real quick for this UFC Fight Night fitting to take place Saturday evening at Rogers Place Arena in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, where the main event is a showdown between the ranked number 5 and the ranked number 3 flyweight in the world. This video right here, we just gonna chop it up for a few minutes about some parlay options, man. You know what I'm talking about? Something light, nothing major. Prelims, main card, whole card, haymaker, Hail Mary toss, dog plays, swap out options. You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, whole lot of nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Two variations of these prelims, man. I'm gonna give y'all, you know, the ones that I really like. I'm gonna give y'all some other ones. You know what I'm talking about? Let's talk about some other ones first, man. For the most part, if you're on the side of these Canadians to be the one to get the jobs done, for the most part, on the prelims, you know, Jamie Lynn and Jasmine, 2 legs, something light, nothing major, 2 legs, 2 women's MMA bouts, 2 significant favorites. With that being said, 2 legs at plus 114. You know what I'm talking about? That's Jamie Lynn and Jasmine. You can do Jamie Lynn, Jasmine, and Charles if you're on the side of Charles. You know, dropping down, having a good weight cut, and you know, showing up and showing out in this weight class for his debut in this weight class in the UFC. If you're on the side of Charles, to be the one to get it done against Victor, 3 legs at plus 329. All 3 of them favorites: Jamie Lynn, Jasmine, and Charles. You know what I'm talking about? So Jamie Lynn and Jasmine, 2 legs at plus 114. Jamie Lynn, Jasmine, and Charles, 3 legs, 3 favorites at plus 329. Now Zalal and Zahabi, you know, my favorite 2 legs, the 2-leg, you know, play that I've been pushing all week, that I've been pushing since, you know, since the money lines dropped. I've been pushing this, you know, this 2-leg play. And it was coming at plus 207 when I originally started pushing it, but that was due to the fact that Zahabi was a slight underdog. Zahabi no longer has a plus money number next to his name, you know, as should have been expected. But Zalal and Zahabi, 2 legs, they do come at plus 146. Now again, if you like Charles, Zalal, Zahabi, and Charles come at plus 339. But if you swap out Charles for Victor, who's sitting at a slight plus money number, those 3 legs, Zalal, Zahabi, and Victor, come at plus 393. Excuse me, my shit dry. You'll notice that I'm using Zalal and Zahabi for the most part as foundations, and then just offering swap out options. But that's me. I'm highly confident in those 2. Zalal, Zahabi, and Saidi, if that's how you say that young man's name. Another individual from over that way is going to be doing his 1-2. He's also a slight favorite against Garrett. Zalal, Zahabi, and Saidi, if you're on the side of that young man, if that's, you know, if I'm butchering his name, I'm butchering his name, but I'm calling him Saidi. You know what I'm talking about? Zalal, Zahabi, and Saidi are 3 legs at plus 298, just about 3 times your money. Or swap out Saidi for Garrett, and Zalal, Zahabi, and Garrett, 3 legs at plus 457. Or Zalal, Zahabi, and Cody, 3 legs at plus 263, all 3 favorites. Or Zalal, Zahabi, and Chad, if you swap out Cody for Chad, being your, you know, 1 dog in the mix, those 3 come at plus 545. Zalal, Zahabi, Charles, and Saidi, if you like those 4 individuals to be the ones to get the job done, you know, Zahabi, Charles, and Saidi being 3 individuals who are, you know, putting on for over there in Canada. You know what I'm talking about? In some way, shape, form, or fashion. Youssef Zalal being the one, you know, oddball in the mix. But Zalal, Zahabi, Charles, and Saidi, if you like those 4, they come at plus 610. Zalal, Zahabi, Jamie Lynn, Jasmine, and Charles. Those 5 favorites. If you like those 5 individuals to be the ones to get the job done, for the most part, again, you know, individuals representing the Canadian flag. One would like to think if, you know, it goes to the cards and they're not finished inside the distance and it was competitive in some way, shape, form, or fashion, closely contested, that they're going to be the ones getting their arms raised. You understand what I'm saying to you? So I get it. And Zahabi, Jamie Lynn, Jasmine, and Charles out of the 5, because then again, Zalal's in there. But Zalal, Zahabi, Jamie Lynn, Jasmine, and Charles, those 5 favorites on the prelims come together at plus 842. If you want to toss in Saidi comes at plus 1424 as your 6 legs. Zalal, Zahabi, Jamie Lynn, Jasmine, Charles, and Saidi. 6 legs at plus 1424. You can toss in Chad, another individual representing that Canadian flag, as your 1 underdog, if you so choose to do so, as your 7th leg. And those 7 legs, Zalal, Zahabi, Jamie Lynn, Jasmine, Charles, Saidi, and Chad, will come at plus 3894, you know, for a little haymaker on the prelims. Try and get a light little clean sweep. Just haven't included that heavyweight fight, you know what I'm talking about? But, you know, those 7, you know what I mean? Zalal, Zahabi, Jamie Lynn, Jasmine, and Charles, 842. Tossing Saidi, 1424. Tossing Chad, 3894. Or swap out Chad for Cody at plus 2150. You know what I'm talking about? And, yeah, man. You know what I mean? Something light, nothing major on the prelims. You feel me? Now, for me, I really like Zalal, Zahabi at plus 146. And then I like the 3 legs, Zalal, Zahabi, and Victor at plus 393. Zalal, Zahabi, Victor, and Garrett, 4 legs at plus 1014. And Zalal, Zahabi, Victor, Garrett, and Cody, 5 legs at plus 1545. Then you can give me Romanov for my 6th leg at plus 3223. And Jasmine for my 7th leg at plus 4768. You know what I'm talking about? And then it's very much a swap out option for that 8th leg with the female fight between Jamie Lynn and Ivana, for me trying to hit a clean sweep on the prelims. You know what I'm talking about? Again, I like Zalal and Zahabi at 146. Zalal, Zahabi, and Victor at plus 393. Zalal, Zahabi, Victor, and Garrett at plus 1014. Then give me Cody in there. Zalal, Zahabi, Victor, Garrett, and Cody at plus 1545. Toss in Romanov. Zalal, Zahabi, Victor, Garrett, Cody, and Romanov at plus 3223. Then give me Jasmine, Zalal, Zahabi, Victor, Garrett, Cody, Romanov, and Jasmine at plus 4768. Then give me Ivana for plus 12,753, or swap out Ivana for Jamie Lynn, and that would be Zalal, Zahabi, Victor, Garrett, Cody, Romanov, Jasmine, and Jamie Lynn at plus 7,033. You know what I'm talking about? And for me on the prelims, man, I really like Zalal. I really like Zahabi. I really like Jasmine. I really like Cody. I really like Romanov. You know what I'm talking about? I like Garrett. The boy Saidi's going to have to, you know, this is some proving ground he's going to have to cover. You know what I mean? To see if he was, you know, rightfully the rightful favorite in this matchup, because I believe Garrett has been up against a higher level of opposition. He's beaten the higher level of opposition. He may, in his own right, be the higher level of opposition. You understand what I'm saying to you? So I have to rock with Garrett in that matchup. You know what I mean? The women's matchup with Jamie Lynn and Ivana, swap out option must be applied. I'm confident in Jasmine that she'll implement her all-around mixed martial arts game, possibly find a submission inside the distance against Lipsky, but definitely put her in some compromisable positions over the course of 15 minutes. You know what I'm talking about? So, and I'm talking about slipped out real quick, didn't it? Because I was trying to go on to something else, but that shit just naturally came the fuck out all stupid, huh? Yo, but while we on these prelim parlays, man, let's just do final thoughts on these prelims real quick, you know what I mean? And Youssef Zalal against Jack Shore, I think it's going to be, you know, it's going to be competitive. I don't know if it's going to be highly competitive and very closely contested, but I think it's going to be competitive. I think Youssef Zalal is undeniably going to do the cleaner work on the feet. Jack's possibly going to try to mix in some wrestling and get this fight down to the ground. I don't necessarily know that he's going to have a lot of success with that, and he might find himself getting put in some compromisable positions while attempting to do that. Zalal's got a very well-rounded body of work, man. You know, and especially this second go-around. You know what I mean? He had a rough go at it his first go-around, which didn't have me too high on him coming back in his second go-around. But, you know, he's proven himself to be a legitimate level of opposition as far as where we competing at right now. So I really don't see Zalal losing to Jack Shore, unfortunately. You know what I mean? For Jack Shore. And Zahabi, it's just a bad time for Pedro Munoz to be fighting, you know, Zahabi, in my personal opinion, man. I think he's just going to edge him out absolutely everywhere. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know that he's going to find a finish. Pedro's tough, but I think he's going to do the better body of work over the course of 15 minutes, land the more significant shots, cause a bit more damage, you know what I'm talking about? And I don't really see him losing that fight, so catching him at the dog price early was definitely a good look, you know what I'm talking about? Cody, he's long, man, and he knows how to use that long reach to his advantage and those long limbs to his advantage. You understand what I'm saying to you? So I could see him wrapping old boy up in a submission, to be honest with you, and getting Chad up out of here via submission inside the distance if he doesn't clip him with that significant reach advantage. You understand what I'm saying to you? And he got a bit of pop in his shots. Romanov, I think he's just going to be able to, you know, get Rodrigo Nascimento down to the ground. Maybe not relatively easy, but he's going to wear on him. He's going to get him down, and he's going to weigh on him when he's on top of him. He's going to put on some work. He might get the ground and pound finish from the top. You know what I mean? Or maybe he pounds on him a little bit and then puts him into a compromisable position to find a submission, or just rides it out to a decision. But I like Romanov in that, you know, in that matchup, man. I like Jasmine, like I said. Zalal, Zahabi, you know what I mean? Garrett, Cody. I like Garrett, you know what I mean? Because he's just been up against a higher level of opposition. He puts out a decent volume, and he's got a solid, you know, all-around body of work, man. You know what I'm talking about? And then the Victor, you know, not high on Charles, you know what I mean? Relatively high on Victor, just not, he frustrates me with his inconsistency. You understand what I'm saying to you? Victor shows up, you know what I mean? And so chooses to show out and show off. I think he's too much for Charles, especially with Charles, you know, making his first weight cut down to hit this division, having to take on, you know, a level of opposition such as Victor, in my personal opinion, could prove to be, you know, troublesome for him, man. You know what I mean? Now, if Victor, inconsistent ass, comes in here and doesn't show up to show off and show out, you know, Charles could walk away with this, not walk away with this decision, but he could edge him out for the decision, man. Victor shows up, the volume, you know what I'm talking about, the pressure, just the all-around body of work, the takedown defense, the offensive and defensive wrestling, grappling, all of it. He's very well-rounded, very solid, man. You know what I'm talking about? And he could definitely dust Charles off over here in his, you know, in his backyard, man. That's why I'm siding with Victor. You know what I'm talking about? But I do have the swap out option applied on certain parlays, man. But that's the prelims. It is what it is, man. As far as, you know, the Canadians, all that, that's what they looking like. Who I like, that's who I like. On to the main card. A lot of individuals are very much so on Mike and Mark. You know what I mean? So let's talk about Mike and Mark first. You feel me? Mike and Mark is 2 legs at plus 104. You know what I'm talking about? Mike, Mark, and Brandon is 3 legs at plus 229. Or if you swap out Brandon for that slight plus money number next to Amir's name, because you're feeling Amir, then Mike, Mark, and Amir is 3 legs at plus 367. So Mike and Mark is 104. Mike, Mark, and Brandon is 229. And Mike, Mark, and Amir, if you swap him out, you swap Brandon out for him, it's 3 legs at plus 367. Mike, Mark, and Aaron, 3 favorites is plus 251. Or you swap Aaron out for Rose, 3 legs at plus 330. You know what I'm talking about? Mike and Mark is plus 104. Mike, Mark, and Brandon is plus 229. Swap out Brandon for Amir. It's Mike, Mark, and Amir at plus 367. Mike, Mark, and Aaron is plus 251. You swap out Aaron for Rose. It's Mike, Mark, and Rose at plus 330. Mike, Mark, and Janata is 222. You swap out Janata for Derek, which you most definitely should do. Mike, Mark, and Derek come at plus 383. Mike, Mark, and Caio is 229, or swap out Caio for Ribeiro, and Mike, Mark, and Ribeiro is plus 367, man. You know what I mean? Mike, Mark, Derek, and Aaron, 4 legs at plus 716. You toss in Brandon as your 5th leg, it comes at plus 1191, or you swap out Brandon for Amir at plus 1811. But Mike, Mark, Derek, and Aaron is 4 legs at plus 716. That's 4 legs that I myself have something light on. You know what I'm talking about? But, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. Rose and Brandon, you know what I'm talking about? If you talking about, you know, one little favorite and one slight dog, Rose and Brandon, in the main and co-main, if that's how it's still lined up, those 2 legs come at plus 238. Janata and Ribeiro, little Brazilian banger, those 2 legs come at plus 274. You know what I'm talking about? And, you know, Mike, Mark, if you want to get spicy on that main card, you know what I mean? You got Ribeiro and Derek, 2 legs, little dog play at plus 438. You know what I'm talking about? Derek and Ribeiro. You can do Mike, Mark, Ribeiro, Derek, Eric, Aaron, and Brandon, plus 2942. If you want to get spicy on that main card real quick, or swap out Brandon for Amir for another plus money number. Mike, Mark, Ribeiro, Derek, Aaron, and Amir at plus 4209. You know what I'm talking about? Brandon, Rose, Derek, Ribeiro, Mark, and Mike at plus 3624, man. You know what I mean? That's, you know, that's getting super spicy, man. Listen, Derek Lewis, I tossed something on it. Derek Lewis via points at plus 850. Derek Lewis via points at plus 850, man. Now, I wanted to pick switch. I wanted to do a few pick switches, but I'm not going to do the pick switches because first and foremost it's a parlay channel. So I'm on the wrong, if I end up on the wrong side of some picks, I end up on the wrong side of some picks, as long as we able to properly play some of these parlays so that we're able to hit. That's all that matter at the end of the motherfucking day. I wanted to pick switch on a few of these fights. I ain't even gonna hold you, man. Like, I wanted to pick switch. I still do, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna properly prepare myself, you know what I'm saying, for being on the wrong side of that pick. You dig me? Derek Lewis, though, and Janata. Listen, I like Janata to do the cleaner, crisper work, you know, over the course of 15 minutes on the feet, if this was a kickboxing or a Muay Thai match. But it's not, man, and that's what I had to remind myself of. And I had to remind myself that Derek has also, in the past, proven that he's willing to go ahead and mix it up to get this dub. You understand what I'm saying to you? And with Derek being the, and it's crazy to say it, but Derek being the more well-rounded mixed martial artist in this matchup, he may very well mix it up and, you know, get the decision. You know what I mean? Maybe he can't put Janata in a compromisable position to find a submission. Maybe he can't really get him to where he want him to pound him out from the ground and pound top position. You know what I'm talking about? But he drags him down quite a few times over the course of 15 minutes and racks up quite a bit of control time. You know what I'm talking about? And pulls off that decision, man. He's, you know, listen, him going to a decision isn't something we haven't seen before, man. And, you know, he could get him out of there via KO, TKO inside the distance. So something will go on that too. But that 850 on points for 3 rounds against Janata, how easily he was taken down and how long he was held down by Austin, you know what I'm talking about? I think Derek can get him down, man. put a little bit of work on him while they're on the ground, then get up, be competitive on the feet. And if Janata gets touched the way he got touched by some of these other individuals, he may go to sleep. You understand what I'm saying to you? But if he stays safe on the feet and puts in a little bit of good work, and Derek just continues to take him down and drag him out, then that plus 850 might really scream. You know what I'm talking about? So it was worth something to me. You know what I mean? It was worth something, you know, for me. And anyway, off of that real quick, you know what I'm talking about? Let's talk about some of these whole card joints, man. Y'all like Mike and Mark? Y'all already know that's 104. Y'all like Zalal and Zahabi? You toss those two in there. You make it a 4-leg parlay, and those 4 come in plus 405. You like Jamie Lynn and Jasmine? Then you toss those 6 in there, and those 6 come in plus 984. You know what I'm talking about? And if you want to stop right there, stop right there. Mike, Mark, Zalal, Zahabi, Jamie Lynn, and Jasmine. You know what I'm talking about? 6 legs at plus 984, man. It's women's MMA as far as the Jamie Lynn. You know what I mean? I know I picked Ivana, and I'm going to stay on my Ivana pick. But, you know, Jamie Lynn, like I said, more respectable loss in my personal opinion as far as her loss to, you know, Hardy. You know what I'm talking? Veronica Hardy, right? Yeah. More respect. Making sure I was saying her name right. You know what I'm talking about? More respectable loss in my personal opinion based on the timeline that she faced Veronica at. You know what I'm talking about? This latest version of Veronica Hardy is a better loss in my personal opinion. And I know one thing has nothing to do with the other. In her amateur, you know, run, she has 2 wins over Lupita Godinez. You know what I mean? So she does have 2 wins over Lupi and a loss to the latest version of Veronica. So she has faced a higher level of opposition. She's beaten a higher level of opposition, even though it was in their amateur run. You know what I'm saying? Lupi's proven to be pretty decent. You know what I'm talking about? And can be problematic for just about anybody. And nothing on Ivana's resume really jumps out like those names, but it is what it is. It's women's MMA. So I have my back door covered on that, man. Much like I do with the, you know, Dustin and Giles. You know what I mean? I have something on his 6 legs right here at plus 984, man. You feel what I'm saying to you? And it's Mike, Mark, Zalal, Zahabi, Jamie Lynn, and Jasmine. 6 legs at plus 984. And you could do like me and add one more. I added a 7th leg. It was Cody for plus 1,500. You understand what I'm saying to you? Then I toss something on that too. And if you want to swap out Cody and throw in Chad instead, that comes at plus 2741 for your 7th leg. But I did Mike, Mark, Zalal, Zahabi, Jamie Lynn, and Jasmine at plus 984. And I tossed something on that. Then I went ahead and I tossed Cody in for 7 legs at plus 1,500. And I tossed something on that. You understand what I'm saying to you? So, you know, do with it what you will. You know what I mean? And then you can run all the way down that motherfucker for a light little haymaker into a Hail Mary. You know what I mean? Mike, Mark, Zalal, Zahabi, Jamie Lynn, and Jasmine, then Cody at plus 1,500. You know what I'm talking about? Then you can toss Charles in there at plus 2751, sprinkle something on that. Then toss Aaron Blanchfield in there at plus 4788, sprinkle something on that. Then toss Brandon in there at plus 7769, sprinkle something on that. Take Brandon out and toss Amir in there at plus 11,046 and sprinkle something on that. You know what I'm talking about? I picked Victor, but I got to secure my back door in some of these haymakers with the Charles leg. I picked motherfucking Rose, but it's a 3-leg matchup. I mean, a 3-fight matchup. This is one of the other fights that I wanted to pick switch on. And I still want to pick switch on, but I'm not going to fucking do it. And it might cost me on my, you know, my pick percentage and all that. But it is what it is, man. You know what I'm talking about? I like Rose, but I would like Rose more if it was a 5-round fight. It's not a 5-round fight. It's a 3-round fight. And in a 3-round fight, Aaron might very well secure the first 2 rounds. And then Rose needs a finish in the 3rd. Although she wins the 3rd because she really starts to get her game going and is able to maybe stuff some of these incoming takedowns, possibly reverse something. It might be just a bit too late for her. You know what I'm talking about? She's not going to have, you know, the second half of the third and then the fourth and the fifth to really implement her game. And that kind of scares me, man. You know what I'm talking about? So there's multiple parlays that I will have Aaron Blanchfield in as far as that parlay leg is concerned, but that's just how I feel about it. You know what I mean? The Charles and Victor fight, I feel the same way. You know what I mean? If Charles cuts good weight and comes in here and Victor, inconsistent ass, doesn't show all the way up to show off and show out, and Victor comes in here and keeps it highly competitive and closely contested in his backyard on short notice, you know, it was short notice, right? I can't fucking remember. But either way you look at it, you know what I'm talking about? He's going more than times than not get the nod over there in Canada. You know what I mean? So I got to have my door secured, man. Got to have my door secured. So I like Mike Marks, Zalal Zahabi, Jamie Lynn, and Jasmine at plus 984. And I tossed in Cody at plus 1,500. Then Charles at plus 2751. Aaron at plus 4788. And then I told you, Brandon at 7769. Swapped out Brandon and tossed in Amir at 11,046. Yeah, I'm talking about my mouth dry as shit, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, I got action on all of that. And when I say sprinkles, I mean sprinkles, like little dimes and dubs. Just it all add up, man, because I got something heavy on the little, not heavy, but a little $60 on the 6 legs. You feel what I'm saying to you? And then the 7 legs, I just throw a little 35 on that. You know what I'm talking about? And then on down, a little dub, then dime, 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 because the motherfuckers is paying out, you know, 4 and some change, 7 and some change, 1,000 and some change. So my little motherfucking 60 on it plus 984, and then my 35 on plus 1,500, and then I throw the dub on plus 2751. Then I sprinkle the dime on 4788, the dime on 7769, and the dime on 1146. Because if everything hits up to 4788, then one of the 7769s or the 11,046 is going to hit, because that's the swap out option. You understand what I'm saying to you? I sprinkle something light all the way down that motherfucker, man. You know what I mean? Just because I've already done my early bird parlays with where I was able to catch Zalal and Sahabi at a plus money number, and I did my plays with Janata and all that, the parlays that I already posted, my little 15-second clips and all that type shit. You know what I mean? But yeah. It is what it is, man. These fights can definitely go either which way for a lot of them, in my personal opinion. So my back door is secured, man. I got Mike Malott via submission, wrapped up with a couple other props on the app. Trevin's lost 3 times via submission. You know what I'm talking about? Trevin's still my pick. Mike got to make me a believer. Maybe he comes out here steaming with the hometown advantage and the crowd behind him, and he's just going bananas and goes in there and goes fucking Benini and gets him down and sinks it in and gets him out of there. You know what I mean? Boa constrictor style. You feel me? So I'll prepare myself for that, and maybe Mark goes in here and just beats the fucking brakes off of Dustin, stuffs every fucking takedown, and don't even let him get out of the first round. So I'll prepare myself for that too. You know what I mean? Jamie Lynn may very well be the better mixed martial artist out of these 2 young women, and she may just, you know, with it being in her backyard as well, take the decision or find the finish, man. So, you know, I'm not doing no pick switching, but my door will be secured. Ribeiro versus Caio, man, that one's been itching at me too. That one's been itching at me too, because too many of these individuals who did good on Dana White Contender Series and then came off of Dana White Contender Series and did absolutely fucking shitty. You know what I'm talking about? Like Austin Lane, like a couple other individuals that I mean, they found a way when it was absolutely everything on the line, for the most part, to turn it the fuck around at least one more time. You know what I mean? To get herself one more go at it in the UFC, man. And I'm kind of worried that Ribero's going to come out here and be that one to get this one done, possibly via submission, inside the distance, with quickness, inside a few minutes. What if he just gets Caio smooth to the ground and just aggressively searches for the submission with them long-ass limbs and sinks it in and gets him the fuck up out of there, and I'm on the wrong side of that one? Huh? Doing my best to prepare for that with these motherfucking parlays, you know what I mean? In some way, shape, form, or fashion, man. You know what I mean? Listen, fucking with these, you know, a bit of these motherfucking favorites. I had put in this little Zalal Zahabi, Janata, and Cody was 4 legs at plus 473. Then I tossed in Victor to get me to 1046 and Garrett to get me 2490. Jasmine for 3965 and Brandon for 6009. Then Alexander for 11,999 and Rose for 25,309. Huh? You know, Hail Mary shit. You know what I mean? Light little sprinkle. I'm just telling you, I didn't sprinkle all the way down that motherfucker, but I'm very much so just telling you how I got to it, man. Zalal, Zahabi, Janata, and Cody, they at 473. I tossed in Victor for 1046, Garrett at 2490, Jasmine at 3965, Brandon at 6009, Alexander Romanoff at 11,999, and then Rose for 25,309. And that was a light little Hail Mary. I tossed something light on, you know what I'm talking about? But not sprinkled all the way down, just all the way at the end. You feel what I'm saying to you, man? But, yeah. Nothing crazy, man. Nothing too crazy, man. I got shit all over this motherfucker. I think we did all that, man. I think we did all that. And, did we get this one? Aaron? Did we get this one? Aaron, because I tossed something on here too. Aaron Blanchfield, Derek Lewis, the boy Mark, Mike, Zahabi Jasmine, Charles Zalal, Jamie Lynn, and Romanov at plus 15,268. You know what I'm talking about? Now, like I said, Aaron, due to the fact that it's a 3-round fight, and she's going to come out there with the volume. She's going to come out there with the pressure. And the moment she doesn't like something or the moment she so chooses to do so, she's going to apply that, you know, wrestling and grappling hard, heavy, and start chaining shit together. You know what I'm talking about? She's a bit bigger than Rose, and I believe she's going to get her down, man. I believe she's going to have a lot of success in the first 2 rounds, which makes me want to pick switch to Aaron. But I'm not going to do it. Telling y'all right now what it's hitting for, though. You know what I'm talking about? 3 rounds. That's what bothers me, man. Because I think Aaron's going to have a lot of success in the first 2 rounds. Which means Rose will need to finish in the 3rd round. And I don't think she's going to get it. I don't think she's going to find it. You know what I'm talking about? She's going to be too far behind. And I don't think she's going to find the finish, man. So I actually believe Aaron's gonna win this motherfucker unless Rose comes out there and clips her and disconnects her from her consciousness, you know, with some crazy ass head kick coming off a 1-2 combination or something, as she's done in the past. But I don't think Aaron's gonna allow her the space or the opportunity to find those openings. I think she's gonna smother her, suffocate her, and try to get her the fuck up out of there. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of success in the first 2 rounds. 2 rounds to none going into the 3rd round. And I don't think she finds a finish in the 3rd round. So Aaron, you know what I mean? And then Derek. Due to the fact that it's not a Muay Thai match and it's not a kickboxing match, it is a motherfucking mixed martial arts match. And Derek has proven in the past that he will mix it the fuck up. If so, you know, if need be necessary, man. So I can very much so see him mixing it up. If he doesn't find the success that he wants, you know, at first with the hands, or he doesn't like something coming his way, I could see him mixing it up, which will throw old boy off a bit. Maybe he mixes it up and finds the finish from the top, ground and pound, or maybe he just mixes it up, old boy finds his way back up to the feet, then he's a bit worried about the level change and gets caught, you know what I mean? But I think Derek's just going to do the better all-around body of work. Upon further investigation, that's the conclusion that I've come to. I'm not going through the whole pick-switch situation and having all those conversations this week, man. We just going to talk about it right here, just like this, man. It is what it is. So I'm preparing myself for the madness. You know what I'm talking about? Aaron, due to the fact it's 3 rounds. Derek, due to the fact that he's a better mixed martial artist. It just is what it is. That's the fact in this match. And Mark, due to the fact that, you know, he may very well come out here and just beat the fucking brakes off of Dustin. It's just two individuals that I'm not high on. You know, two individuals that both sides obviously have a clear path to, you know, victory. Mark via keeping his fight upright and just beating the brakes off of Dustin. Dustin being able to get this fight down to the ground and search for the submission by putting him in compromisable positions. I'm preparing myself for that not being able to happen. Mark being able to keep it upright and possibly beat the fucking brakes off of him and find the finish on Saturday night. You know what I'm talking about? So it's Aaron because it's, you know, 3 rounds. Derek because he's a better mixed martial artist. And Mark because he's probably going to catch him, clip him, and disconnect him, or at the very least, you know, put him in survival mode quite a few times over the course of 15 minutes. Mike, Trevin's been submitted 3 times. I believe Mike's going to come out there and aggressively search for the submission. He's going to do, you know, he's going to try to implement somewhat of a Hamzat game plan against Whitaker. He's going to come out there and shoot for that takedown relatively quick, and I believe he may get it. And Trevin is vulnerable to the submission. So Aaron, because it's 3 rounds. Derek, because he's the better mixed martial artist in this match. Mark, because he's just going to probably catch this motherfucker quite a few times. Hey, you! The fuck is you doing, boy? Oh, he digging on the wrong shit. Don't let me come out there and find out you done did some bullshit, because I'm going to punch you right in your fucking ribs, man. Excuse me, y'all. I don't know what the fuck he out there doing, but if he doing the wrong shit, he going to have a long night. What the fuck wrong with him, man? Aaron, because it's 3 rounds. Derek, because it's just a fact he's the better mixed martial artist in this match. Mark, because he's probably just going to hurt Dustin. Mike, because he's probably just going to submit Trevin. Zahabi, because he's just going to do the better all-around body of work. Jasmine, because she's going to take, you know, she's one that's also going to have a lot of success in the first 2 rounds against Ariana Lipsky with the takedowns and the wrestling and the grappling, and might find a submission in her own right. Charles, because Victor's an inconsistent son of a bitch. Zalal, because he's just too solid, too well-rounded. Jack's not going to be able to get him down, and on the feet, the better, cleaner, crisper, more significant shots are going to be landed from Zalal, and I wouldn't be surprised if he hurt that young man. Jamie Lynn, because she may very well be the better all-around mixed martial artist, and Alexander Romanov, because I believe he's just going to be too much. He's going to be able to get the takedowns again. Maybe not relatively easy, but I believe he's going to have a lot of success within the first 7 to 9 minutes, which is going to leave Nascimento behind and looking for the finish, which he might find, but I'm going to rock with Romanoff on this one. So it's Aaron, Derek, Mark, Mike, Zahabi, Jasmine, Charles, Salao, Jamie Lynn, and Romanoff at plus 15,268. You know what I'm talking about? Sprinkle. You feel me? I got something on it, man. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I don't know what else I can do with all of this. You know what I mean? Your prelim plays, your main card plays, swap out options are absolutely necessary for a lot of these matchups. You understand what I'm saying to you? When it comes to haymakers and Hail Marys, you know, we got them from 6 legs to 7 legs. If, you know, you want to do the 8 legs on the prelims, all 6 legs on the main card. If you're talking about 6 legs for the whole card, 7 legs for the whole card. If you're talking about haymakers and Hail Marys, you know what I mean? We got after it for the most part, man. You know what I'm talking about? I'm fitting to have to go see what these little motherfuckers is getting into, though. That's Rocky was doing his bullshit. And once motherfucker and shit like that are trigger words in this house for Zeus, as they know it's fitting to be a motherfucking problem. Because I don't really be cussing at them like that unless they do some bullshit and they get to hearing certain words, boy, they get to running. Like Zeus, he'll go run under this motherfucking air hockey table. Reyes, she'll haul ass that way. Rocky ears go back and he go find somewhere to hide too, man. But I'm fitting to go find out what the fuck these motherfuckers was getting into. here in a couple minutes, man. You know what I'm talking about? Because old boy was over there clawing, scraping, scratching at my leather in any way, shape, form, or fashion. The way I was just hearing, oh my goodness. We gonna have a whole workout session in this motherfucker. I'll be wrestling with these motherfuckers all over. All over. I sit down to 10%. All over, man. Oh, that's why they so vicious outside with these other dogs. I'll be wrestling all over the floor with these motherfuckers, man. You know what I mean? They be loving it, too. I'll be balling their ass up, man. But that's why when they go at each other, they be fucking each other up. And they be trying to sweep it. Zeus will hit down on his back like he trying to pull guard or something. You know what I'm talking about? These little motherfuckers is crazy, man. It's my babies, man. But, yeah, this card is vicious, man. Maybe these favorites are going to look just like they should. And, you know, I prepared myself for it. We in the doghouse. I do my best to make a case for these dogs. I wanted the pick switch, I believe, from 2 favorites to 2 dogs, and from 2 dogs to 2 favorites. I think that's what I wanted to do. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, I wanted the pick switch from Ivana to Jamie Lynn and from Rose to Aaron, right? And Rose was a slight dog, Aaron being a favorite. So I wanted to switch from Rose over to Aaron, you know what I'm talking about? And then Ivana, which is a dog, over to Jamie Lynn. So that's 2 dogs over the 2 favorites, right? But then my dog to favorite ratio still wasn't changing, because then I wanted to switch from Derek, who's a dog, to Janata. I wanted to switch from the Janata over to Derek, and from Cayo over to Roberio. You know what I'm talking about? And Roberio's a dog, and Derek's a dog. So I'd have been switching from 2 dogs to 2 favorites, but then from 2 favorites to 2 dogs. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, my God. Can you imagine what these motherfucking comment sections would have been like, man? It's already going to be like something based off of that. Huh? Yeah, we leaving the pick switches alone this week. I'm just going to go ahead and stand on them picks for what they are. You know what I'm talking about? But, my door is secured. Should I upload the other little picture? Because I got another little pic. Like, I got my John with all, you know, the fight card with all the heads on it, where I under, you know, highlighted in green and yellow and shit. The one that I put on the community wall, I got another one, which is my backup one with my other pics on it. Y'all want me to upload that motherfucker too, so y'all can see that motherfucker too, so y'all can see what my other pics are. You know what I'm talking about? My backup picks, you know what I'm talking about, that I take into the motherfucking, you know, that I take to the kiosk with me. So when I'm in there doing my what ifs and my backdoor, you know what I mean, picks, that's what I'm going off of, because I could upload that shit for y'all too and put that on the community wall too, so y'all can see, you know, all my bullshit. You know what I mean? Because I'm not doing the pick switches, but I'm telling you right now why I feel the way I feel, man. You know what I'm talking about? I like Brandon in the main event. The boy Amir is going to have to make me a believer, man. You know what I mean? And while I did like Rose in the co-main event, it's not 5 rounds. You know what I mean? And I just needed to be 5 rounds for me to be confident in Rose. You know what I'm talking about? Because I feel like Aaron is going to have a lot of success in the first 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? If Rose doesn't clip her and hurt her and get respect from her early, before she engages in any of her implementing her game, Aaron is going to have success early. And a lot of it, in my personal opinion. You know what I'm talking about? She might outstrike her 2-1, 2.5-1. Based off of the motherfucking takedowns and the little shots she's going to be throwing when she lands them. It's just hard, man. I would be more confident in Rose if it was 3 rounds, because I feel like Aaron's going to have so much success in them first 2 rounds. And then possibly come out in the first couple minutes of the 3rd round, you know what I mean, and find a bit of success. But overextend herself, man, because I feel like when she has that success, she's also going to be really trying to find that finish. You know what I mean? And not only is it a finish, but it's a finish in the octagon over Rose Namajunas in the co-main event. It's a name. It's a boost. It's a whole, you know, it does a whole lot. And it puts a whole lot of motherfucking pressure on a motherfucker, man. What kind of adrenaline dump will Aaron have, you know what I mean? But we don't get to find that out because it's not 5 rounds. And I think for them first 10 to 12 minutes, she's going to have a lot of success, man. And have Rose on the back foot and on her back. You know what I'm talking about? So it is what it is, man. I like Brandon because the boy Amir, he just has to make me a believer, man. He has to make me a believer. There's nothing he's done as of yet because in my personal opinion, and it's just my personal opinion, a win's a win, a loss is a loss. But in my personal opinion, he lost that fight to Kai France. But that's just me. A win's a win, a loss is a loss. And he had, you know, he caught the dub. Now here we are. I don't think that's going to be the case against, you know, Brandon. You know what I mean? I think Brandon's going to show up and show out and show off and separate his body of work from Amir's body of work pretty significantly over the course of 25 minutes if he doesn't find a finish inside the distance. And he's going to win this one via unanimous decision. Can't say that about Rose in a 3-round, 15-minute fight. So I got to, you know, I got to like Aaron to win that one in 15 minutes. Derek, you know what I'm talking about, while the boy may, and this is a, you know, it's a may. It was what I believe to be the possible outcome. While he may land the better, or he may land the cleaner, or at least look cleaner on the feet. It's not a Muay Thai or kickboxing match, and Derek is the better mixed martial artist, so I could see him getting this one done via KO, TKO, or via decision. Dragging it out. Ribeiro, I can see him getting it done via KO, TKO, via submission. I don't know that he gets it done via decision. You know, maybe he could get it done via decision. I think the boy Kaio is fighting from out of there somewhere. Vancouver, he's fighting from somewhere over that way. He lives over there somewhere that way. Like, I know he a Brazilian bull, but he stay over that way, train over that way, fight over that way, something like that. So we don't know what the hometown advantage is looking like for him. You know what I'm talking about? Ribeiro might have to find a finish. But he just might. You know what I mean? Mark and Mike is what it is. Zahavi and Jasmine is what it is. Zalal and Romanov is what it is. Garrett and Cody is what it is. You know what I mean? Victor, he just has to show up and not be fucking inconsistent. Little inconsistent bastard. You know what I'm talking about? Come on, man. Like, this motherfucker show up and put up almost 200 strikes and then show up and not even put up 50 and then show up and put up almost 200 strikes and then show up and not even put up 50. Like, motherfucker, come on, man. The fuck is you doing, Scrap? It's a messy card, man. Messy card. I held y'all ear hostage for too long, but that's because I'm fucking bored. The dogs is laid out now. Kids is out the motherfucking house. I'm treed up out my mind, you hear me? I made about 3 motherfucking edibles, you hear what I'm saying to you? And my joints, too. And I know dispensary shit. I ain't talking to nobody about nothing, man. I need something to scream at me. My shit's a scream at you. You know what I'm talking about? Because I make my shit, man. You know what I mean? And I don't use the can of butter and the can of oil and all that. I infuse my own oils. You understand what I'm saying to you? And not with the bud. Because when you getting that bud, that can of butter and that can of oil, that shit's hitting between like 29, 24% THC. You know what I'm talking about? Very much so why when they make those edibles and give you those 50 milligrams and 5 pieces of 10 milligrams of WAP or whatever the fuck it is, you could eat all 5 of them and they still not talking to you. You know what I mean? Well, I take my shit and I'll go get like 2, maybe 3 grams of shatter. You know what I'm talking about? Smacking it like 86, 87% THC. You know what I mean? Then I take that motherfucking oil. Well, first I take the shatter and I decarbonate that shit. Toss it in the freezer real quick. Let it get right for about 15 minutes. Then I'll go ahead and let that motherfucker slip it right into that oil. See, now we infusing that oil with 3 grams of shatter at motherfucking 86, 87% THC. It hit different, you know what I'm talking about? And now the Rice Krispies, right? Because I made some Rice Krispie treats. So dig it. Got the motherfucker oil infused with 3 grams of shatter at 86% THC. You know what I'm talking about? And now the Rice Krispies over here. Boom. Go ahead and slide the marshmallows in with the oil and let that get right. Now the Rice Krispies over here, I have 2/8 of decarbonated cooking hash. Shaking up all in, you know what I mean? And just sprinkled all in the Rice Krispies. So what I'm doing is now I'm taking the pan. I got the big sauce pan too. You know what I'm talking about? The big boy. All in there because I don't want to miss nothing. We ain't missing no. We getting all this. You know what I'm talking about? So now I take the motherfucker off. Boom. Got all that nice all that nice shatter infused oil, you know what I mean, and marshmallows. Right now I got all this decarbonated cooking hash wrapped up with all, sprinkled in all these Rice Krispies, and I just dump all that shit in there. What? Something vicious. Talk to you. This motherfucker scream at you all the way to sleep, motherfucker. You hear what I'm saying to you? Or my daytime treats all the way through work, man. I get the sativa shatter. I'll get the indica shatter. I'll get the hybrid shatter. We making treats for every motherfucking, any which way you want to eat them. You trying to fall back? You trying to go about your business at work? Come on, man. Stop it, man. And they smack. You can't go eating no big chunk of this motherfucker like you built like that. You better really be built like that fucking with mine. Stop the madness, man. Because these motherfuckers will do something. They'll do something else to you, man. This ain't that shit off the motherfucking counter in the shop where they saying, here, only eat this and this, that, and the third. This guy didn't. Nah, this ain't that. This something different. When you infuse that oil with that 86% THC, that shatter, oh my goodness. And then you take that decarbonated cooking hash and mix it in with your motherfucking Rice Krispie. And boy, oh boy. I'm talking about these motherfuckers smack, jumping like nervous people. You hear me? You'll never fuck with anybody else's treats ever again. You fuck with the boys, You fuck with the kids' treats, it's a wrap, it's over. You ain't fucking with nobody else's never again. You know what I'm talking about? My bad, y'all. I jumped all the way the fuck off. Shit. Fuck this card, man. This card messy, man. This card messy. Whoever's confident with all of this shit anywhere, salute to them, man. You know what I mean? If you pick all of these motherfuckers with extreme confidence, salute to you. If you're just picking a bunch of motherfuckers because they, from the Canadian side of things, I get it. Maybe it's going to be like how it was over in Abu Dhabi. Which one's going to fumble the bag? If that's how you feel. You know what I mean? Because for the most part, these Canadians are favorites. You know what I mean? Jamie Lynn and Jasmine, favorites. Mike and Mark, favorites. That's 4 of them. You know what I'm talking about? Charles and Saidi, favorites. That's 6 of them. You know what I'm talking about? And then you have Zahabi, favorite now. That's 7. And then your 8th is Chad. He's your one underdog. You know what I'm talking about? So I get it if individuals is just siding with individuals because they from over there, man. I can't side with Saidi because he's from over there, though. You know what I mean? I can get behind the Jasmine pick, and I can dig the Jamie Lynn. I can even get behind Mark and Mike, but Saidi got to prove some shit to me. I don't even like getting behind Mike, to be honest with you, but I guess I can get it, man. You know what I mean? From a betting and a parlaying perspective, you feel me? From a pick, I'm still standing on my shit. I hope Trevor Giles goes out there and mangles that kid. And fuck anybody that don't like it, man. It's my personal opinion. It's how I feel about the situation. I hope he goes out there and mangles that young man. And with that being said, he may very well go out there, string a combination together that Mike just shoots a power double right the fuck under and wraps him up. That's that with that. celebrates on top of the cage while I'm rubbing shit in my chest. It's all good. You know what I'm talking about? They gonna be good fights though for what they worth, man. I wish Zalal was fighting Zahabi right now. I think that would be a good fight right now. With all due respect to both of them young men and the fights they have lined up for Saturday night. Put Jack Shore against Pedro Munoz and give me Zalal versus Zahabi. I don't give a fuck about the other shit. I check they class. They still in 8. They motherfuckers all in the same weight class. Or I'm just fucking wishing for shit. That's what happens when you're over this motherfucker and everybody out the house and you ate too many of these motherfuckers and smoked too many of these motherfuckers. God damn. Now y'all gotta listen to me because I ain't got nobody else to fucking talk to. Ain't that about a bitch? That's it though, man. We did the prelims. We did motherfuckers. After all this shit, motherfuckers like, what the fuck? What happened on the prelims? Ain't that about a bitch? You got to go all the way back for that shit. But we did them. We did the main card. We did all that funny shit that we was supposed to do. All that fun shit. We did it. It happened. And then I just started yapping. And that happened. That's that with that for these parlays though, man. Yo, listen. If Derek Lewis doesn't knock this young man out and he wins via points at plus 850, ain't that about a bitch? For that reason, I got something on it, man. I got something on it. Something tells me Derek either knocks this motherfucker out, clips him and disconnects him from his motherfucking consciousness inside the distance. I don't got Derek up here knocking nobody out, do I? There go Rose over there. I gotta get a pic of Derek up this motherfucker, man. I gotta bring my other little TV. That's a TV. I gotta bring my other TV down here that the fucking kids broke and I just riddled with fucking pictures. You know what I'm talking about? It just don't fit. Unless I put that bitch up there off the motherfucking wall. You know what I'm talking about? That shit don't fit nowhere. And these motherfucking dogs and these motherfucking kids, they ain't allowed me to do this shit anywhere else. I try to do this shit anywhere else, the dogs will be knocking everything the fuck over. The kids will be huffing and fucking puffing when they hear, man, a 17-year-old and a 21-year-old female huffing and puffing in this motherfucker because they want to watch fucking Teen. One wants to watch Teen Wolf and one wants to watch fucking Baddies. Gee, what the fuck going on in this motherfucker, man? Like, one want to watch Teen Wolf and one want to watch Baddies. They motherfucking compromised. They'll watch Teen Wolf together and then they'll watch Baddies together. What the fuck is going on in here, man? Man, I ain't got a shot doing this shit anywhere else in this motherfucking house. You know what I'm talking about? It is what it is, man. I'm fit to tap the fuck out. I done held y'all ear hostage for long enough. We done went over all of this shit, man. We have 3 women's MMA bouts, 3 heavyweight MMA bouts. There's so many reasons for complete passes on this whole card. You know what I'm talking about? Prospect versus prospect, women's MMA, heavyweight MMA, first fight of the night, last fight of the night, question mark fights. You could just leave this fucking whole card alone if we being honest. Unless you like who you like, man. You know what I mean? I'm a fucking degenerate, so I'm gonna try to find a way to make this shit happen. Look at that, man. Fuck it, I was about to tap out. We'll tap out in a few seconds. We'll let this motherfucker rock for 60 minutes. You know what I'm talking about? I thought I was gonna come down here and get this motherfucker done in like 6 minutes, 10 minutes real quick. Just knock these parlay options out the fucking way. You know what I'm talking about? But them fucking edibles kicked in. And all this motherfucking weed I've been smoking kicked in. And the fact that I've been motherfucking dolo for quite a minute, you know, quite a bit here today. You know what I'm talking about? With nobody to talk to, y'all motherfuckers got all this. You know what I mean? Appreciate y'all for tapping in, though. That's that with that, man. I hope y'all cash a bag in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Whatever I didn't cover in this motherfucker, if it's not already been uploaded, I'm sure I'll tap back in and upload that motherfucker. Peace and blessings.